All right, here we go. Practice test number 2. Um, Number 1, just going to fly through here pretty quickly. Number 1, inverse. Remember, that's where you take your x's and your y's and switch them. And that's what I did right there. Just took the x's and y's and switch them. Easiest question on the test. Do not star that one unless you just need to use a star somewhere. 2, 3, and 4, all the same kind of problem. Switch your x and y, then get your y by itself. We had a gesture for that this week. So look at number 2 right here. I'll switch my x and y around, move the 5 over, divided both sides by 4. Don't forget this notation right here, that you make sure you put your f negative 1 of x. Same thing number 3, switch your x and y, move the 3 over, divide by negative 3. There you go, don't forget your notation. Number 4, switch your x and y. Now this one has a fraction in it. The opposite of divide is multiply, so I multiply both sides by 5, give me 5x. Move the 2 over, don't forget your notation again. Number 5 is probably the longest question on the whole test. You got to do 4 things. Find the inverse, which is just like 2, 3, and 4. Take your x and y and switch them. Move the 1 over, get the y by itself, divide by 3. There's your first part of the answer. Composition means you do f of g and also g of f, or really f negative 1 of f. You're doing the inverse right here. So all I'll do to do that is take your original 3x plus 1, plug it into, actually I'm going backwards here. Take your inverse right here, your x minus 1 over 3, and plug it into that x, your original x. Right there. You know it's going to equal x. You just got to show your work to get there. Second thing is you do g of f, which means you take your original problem right here, plug it into your inverse where the x was, right here. You get this numerator. The 1's cancel. 3x over 3 is x, and you got it. To graph it, remember that line right there, that y equals x that goes through 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, that's going to bisect, or go right through the middle of your 2 lines. This is slope-intercept form. You go to 1 as your y-intercept. You go up 3 over 1. Connect that dots. La, la, la. Then, the inverse, the easy way to graph the inverse if you don't want to do the work is just like reverse the x and y's. That's 0, 1, so I'm going to go to 1, 0. This point up here is 1, 4, so I'm going to go to 4, 1, draw my lines. The y equals x line goes right through them. 6 and 7 are just graph. Those are the gestures we did. Remember, absolute value is always a V shape. Make sure you draw a V. Opposite of what you think inside, so you go right 2. There's a vertical stretch by 2, so you go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, connect. Number 7, same deal. You're going to go right 2, up 3. There's a 2/3 right there, which means you're going to go up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3, and you got it. 8, 9, same way, except now you got to give domain and range. This one, there's no shifts at all. There's a negative in the front, which makes the V go upside down. Also, there's a 3, so I'm going to go down 3, right 1, down 3, left 1, connect. Your domain on these is always negative infinity to positive infinity because it's going left and right forever. Your range, remember, you go bottom up, bottom up. So the bottom is negative infinity and it goes up to 0. Don't forget range is the y. Number 9, go right 2 over 1. You have a 1/2 in front, so vertical compress. Go up 1 over 2, up 1, left 2. Draw your V. Domain, as always. Your range, remember, bottom up. So I'm going to start at the y coordinate right there. The y is 1. It goes up forever, so 1 to infinity. 10 through 14 are equations. Remember, the gesture we did for these is 2 bars, 2 answers. 2 bars, 2 answers. What you need to do first every time is get the absolute value by itself. On this first one, move the 4 over first. Then you set up, once it's by itself, you set up 2 equations. 2x is 4 and 2x is negative 4. Divide both sides by 2. Got it. 11, move the 5 over. Divide by negative 2 to move it over. Remember, do not distribute with absolute value. Then I got this equation, so set up 2. Once you get it by itself, set up 2. Because it really means what 2 numbers are 2 away from 0 on the number line. 2 is and negative 2 is. So the 3x minus 6 has to equal 2 or has to equal negative 2. Solve them. There's your 2 answers. Number 12, same deal. Move the 4 over, divide by negative 5. And then I got absolute value equals a negative number. Absolute value can never be negative, so that means it's no solution. The same thing happened on 13. Don't expect that tomorrow, remember. Move the 6 over, divide by 3. I think gave me a negative 2/3 over here. Absolute value cannot equal a negative number, so that's no solution. I don't expect you to have 2 no solutions tomorrow. You may, but I wouldn't expect it. Number 14, move the 7 over, that gives you 0. If you divide by 9, it's still 0. If absolute value equals 0, there's only one number that's 0 away from 0 on the number line, and that's 0. So this time I just set up one equation. I'll move the 2 over, that gave me this, which means I have to divide both sides by 4/3. Dividing by 4/3 is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal of 4/3. So I came up here on the side and multiplied my 2 times 3/4, and I really got 6/4 right there, but 6/4 reduces down to 3/2. 15 through 18 are what we did today in class. Less than, greater. Less than and greater. The first one has a less than, so it's going to be an and. I'll move the 2 over first. And remember, 2 bars, 2 answers. If it's less than, you can write one big inequality like this with both symbols in it. And then just add 3 to all 3 sides, and I got that right there. Draw your number line, shade between 0 and 6 because it's an and I wrote it as interval notation also. 16 was greater, divide by 4. And once I do that, you have to write your or, write 2. Remember, 2 bars, 2 answers. X minus 7 is greater than 4, or then you change everything. You change your greater than sign to less than. You change your positive 4 to negative 4. And just solve both of them. Move the 7 over and get x is greater than 11, or x is less than 3. There's my number line, and good to go right there. And also your interval notation, you have to put or. 17, I move the 2 over, divide by 2, don't distribute, divide by 2, gives me this right here. Is greater than again. So same deal. Write what you see right here, then change your greater than sign to less than, change your 2 to negative 2, and you're good to go. I'll move the 7/2 over, and the way I did that, you can punch it in your calculator if you want to, but I did this right here. I did 2 plus 7/2, and the way I did that is I multiplied 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 7 is 11/2. That's what I did. I did the same thing on this one right here also. I moved the 7/2 over, and I had this. I had negative 2. My pen is not working. Negative 2 plus 7/2. So this time I did negative 2 times 2, which is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 7 is 3/2. So that's where that one came from. That's actually should be positive 3/2. I'm glad we did this. That should be a positive 3/2 there. And down here also, positive 3/2. Number 18 here is no solution because when I moved the 5 over, it gave me 20, but then I had to divide by negative 5, which gave me negative 4. Now, don't forget, because this says less than negative 4, the only kind of numbers that are less than negative 4 are more negative numbers. So that's why it's no solution. Absolute value cannot be negative. If that said greater than negative 4, my answer would be all answers from negative infinity to positive infinity because all absolute values are bigger than negative 4. All right, this is review. You're going to notice as we go through, I forgot to tell you today, but every test we take is going to have stuff from every other week we've done. So this is what I chose from last week of the graph. The first part here says, where is it increasing? It's where it's going up. It's going up from here to here. It's also going up this little section. Remember, all you care about your x coordinates. Like it's going up from negative 2 to right there, which is at negative 1. So I'll put it's increasing negative 2 to negative 1. It's also increasing from here to there. That x coordinate is 1. That x coordinate is 2. So it's increasing from 1 to 2. Number 20 says, where is it decreasing? It's decreasing from right here down to there. That little section right there. So where's that? What x coordinates those? That x coordinate's negative 1. That x coordinate's positive 1. So it's decreasing from negative 1 to positive 1. Now, the problem on your practice test for 21 doesn't make sense. I think I had like 10 and 18 or something. I put the wrong graph with the wrong numbers. So I changed it. You need to change this on your practice test. Change that to negative 1. Change it to positive 1. So those are my x's. I put a negative 1 here, positive 1 there, subtracted them. To get my y's, I had to look at the graph. I found 1 on my graph, which is here. The graph is down at negative 3. So where the 1 was, I put a negative 3 above it. The negative 1 is right here. The graph is up at 3. So where the negative 1 is, I put a 3. Then I subtracted. Negative 3 minus 3 is negative 6. 1 minus negative 1, you do change. That's 2. You get negative 3. 22, domain and range. Domain, there's no arrows, so it stops. Domain is x's. How far left and right it goes? It goes from negative 2 to positive 2. Negative 2, positive 2. Range is how far up and down it goes. It goes from negative 3 to positive 3. Negative 3 to positive 3. And 23 asks you, is it 1 to 1? Remember, if it's 1 to 1, it passes the horizontal line test. It fails it there. It fails it there. It pretty much fails it everywhere. So it is not 1 to 1, which means the inverse is not a function. Last page, 24 and 25. This is the very first thing. This is like number 1 on your test last week. Write it as set notation and as an inequality. Because that's a parentheses, you do not put an equal sign with the 5. because that's a bracket, you do put an equal sign with 100. Then with this one is set notation. Don't forget your braces, and you put all x such that, and you write it the exact same way. So these two are going to look the same except for the braces and the all x such that. And the last one, 25, these are just all the gestures. I don't know what it's going to be tomorrow. This time it said compress it horizontally. When you compress something horizontally, you're squishing it, kind of squishing it together, which is making your V become steeper, as you can see the graph. So what I did to graph that is I took my y coordinate right there, which is, sorry, my x coordinate right there, which is 6. I do x coordinates because it says horizontal. Horizontal axis is the x axis. That's a 6. That's a negative 6. So I'm multiplying by 1/3. 1/3 of 6 is 2. 1/3 of negative 6 is negative 2. So I connected. Now, when you write this in your equation, notice I put a 3 in there. A horizontal stretch or compress is the number inside your parentheses, and it's always the reciprocal. So I did the reciprocal of 1/3 and put 3. All right, hope that helped. Watch these problems as much as you need to. All of you got off to a good start last week. Keep that going, and I will see you in the morning, and I'll be there at 8 if you need any more help, but I'll be there early, so come see me if you need it. See ya.